Today, we're digging into an online real estate program called the MicroBanking Method. Now, it makes some pretty big promises, but what's the real story behind it all? We're going to find out by breaking down its own sales page, looking at both the exciting pitch and, the not so exciting fine print. Right off the bat, the program hits you with a really compelling question. It taps right into that dream of making money in real estate, but without all the usual headaches of flipping houses or managing properties. It's a fantastic hook. So, what exactly is on the table here? Okay, first up, the pitch. You know how it goes. Every offer tells a story, and this is the one that's designed to pull you in. Let's unpack the promises they're making and the dream they're trying to sell. And here it is, the main promise, pulled straight from their headline. It just paints this perfect picture of a hands-off, easy way to get into real estate profits. And the appeal is so obvious, right? All the potential upside of investing with none of the dirty work. That's a really powerful pitch. And to make that big goal feel totally achievable, the material lays out this simple four-step journey. You see how it frames success as just this clear, straight line? It positions your breakthrough as something you can get to at your own speed, which really makes the whole thing seem a lot less intimidating. To build up some credibility, the pitch makes sure to highlight the creator's experience. The page says he's been in the game for over a decade and has an established track record. This is, a classic way to build trust and make it seem like this guy is a seasoned expert whose system is absolutely worth following. So that's the promise. But with any offer like this, you have to look at the whole picture. And that brings us to section 2, reading the fine print. We've seen the shiny promise. Now it's time to scroll all the way down and look at the disclaimers. This is where the marketing pitch meets cold, hard reality. So before we dive into the actual quotes, let's just be clear on what a disclaimer is. It's a super important legal statement. Its job is to manage your expectations and tell you about all the potential risks. Basically, it's the part of any offer that tells you what is not being promised. And the very first thing the disclaimer makes crystal clear is this. There are no guaranteed results. The material is just for education, and any kind of financial outcome is explicitly 100% not guaranteed. It's a standard thing to say, but it's a really important place to start. And this one really drives the point home. The creator himself says that his own success, the very success used in the marketing, is not typical. He's literally warning you that you shouldn't expect to get the same results he did. Now, this next one is, it's pretty direct. The disclaimer has this shockingly honest admission. The average person who buys any kind of how-to info gets, and I'm quoting here, little to no results. That sets a very, very different expectation for what the average user can expect to happen. And finally, this powerful statement. It completely contradicts that whole idea of an easy, hands-off method. Instead, it says success requires massive and consistent effort and action, and that it comes with risk. It's a pretty stark warning for anyone who isn't ready for that level of commitment. The fine print also draws some very clear legal lines in the sand. It states the program is for educational purposes only. It is not trying to get you to invest. It is not an offer to sell securities. It also makes it clear it's not giving you tax or legal advice, and it isn't endorsed by any government agencies like the FTC or the SEC. The big takeaway here, you're buying information, not some regulated financial product. It's also really important to know who all the players are here. So you've got Rick Melero, the creator, and his company, but the actual sale is handled by a third party called ClickBank. And as the source material points out over and over, ClickBank is just the retailer. Their involvement does not constitute an endorsement, approval, or review of the product itself. So, we've seen the exciting pitch and the pretty sobering fine print. What's the final takeaway for someone thinking about this? In our last section, let's put these two totally different stories right next to each other. This slide really brings it all home. On one side, you have the promise of easy profits, a clear path to success, all based on an expert's track record. But then, on the other side, you have the reality that's spelled out in the disclaimers. This is going to take massive effort. The average person gets little to no results, and the creator's own success isn't typical. Seeing them side by side like this gives you a much, much more complete picture of what's being offered. So what does all this mean for you? Well, it means doing your own homework is absolutely essential. This checklist, which we've pulled together from analyzing this page, is a great starting point for looking at any online offer. Always read the fine print, remember that testimonials are not guarantees, Accept that business is risky, know who you're actually buying from, and always talk to licensed professionals for real financial advice. And that brings us to our final and maybe most important question. When you're looking at an opportunity, it's so easy to get drawn in by the promise. But as we've just seen, the full story is often hiding in the fine print. A truly smart decision means you have to weigh both. So just ask yourself, where does your focus usually land? Everything we've covered in this analysis is based on the public promotional material for the program. If you want to review that source for yourself and do your own breakdown, we've put the link for you right in the description below.